So as you know, this is covering this whole things reporting and these all charts
Yeah.
coming in one module which is called Power View. So now you tell me, just I'm just asking how much you know about this thing, this particular part. This is a
Is it
Power
already?
View.
Yeah. So this
Hmm.
is something. So I know how it has been created, and because
Hmm.
I started the whole foundation for this, so I know the whole thing. So
Hmm.
they're using this dashboard. What is
Hmm.
Amisha's job currently is that she needs to, extract the information from this dashboard. We know
Hmm.
how this, I know head and tail of how this has been created and everything, but what I don't know, and that is what, the company is looking at, is that, you know,
Hmm.
uh, after I left, there was another guy who was actually from the IT background. He connected with the
Hmm.
server. I also did the
Hmm.
same thing, but then he
Hmm.
actually staged it, at certain point wherein he wrote some of the SQL queries to extract information from different sources. And
Hmm.
then there are errors which keeps on coming, and I understand why those errors are coming, because sometimes the column name changes, and that's what
Hmm.
my assumption. That's what is
Hmm.
happening with with the error and all this thing. Up
Hmm.
to this, we know, like, how exactly this is created, how it is being
Get it,
done,
get it.
and
Means you know the reporting part. You know the
yes,
complete
yes,
reporting part and this
yes.
visualizations. Yeah.
For us, the major challenge is, sir, that what we need to know is the technical aspect of this, that how the data is getting staged for this particular, because obviously, like, for you also, I think it would be easy for you to, like, because the whole dashboard is ready, then it would be easy for
Hmm.
you to even guide us through, like, how exactly this is done, how the data has been staged, because,
Okay,
like,
get it.
yeah, so
Which
yeah.
data source are you guys using for this? Like, if I'm asked, like, is that which SQL you're using?
I think it is OLAP query through which we are actually connecting it.
Okay, so we directly take OLAP. It's so OLAP is open source. I never worked on OLAP. If I'm check if it is open source. If not, so we can take MySQL. But if you want OLAP, so I can directly download it.
You can check, if you want, I can show you the source, if that is fine with
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. So can you just
Yeah,
show
I'll
me the
just show
source
you.
as well?
This is the one that you're using, right? Yeah, so if you see, so this is what so what they have done is that, I think that this is a OLAP query, but they have put it in a tabular format.
Okay, get it, get it. Okay. Okay, so
So
they just the folder path is local or it's in server is coming because in folder path shows locally. I'm just saying.
I think what they have done is that they have staged
Uh-huh.
it at a local folder, and then they are pulling out information from there. So what they have done is that, because we know that it is coming from a server. Misha, you were having that
Mm-hmm.
Anthony's email, right?
See, I'm telling you something. What happened?
Ye-
Some people what they do, they already do the ETL. Like for example, in SQL, right? For example, they have multiple tables and number of tables, right? And the
Hmm.
required information, that for example, the minimal data they needed. So what they do, they already do the ETL. I'm just assuming. I'm not sure how they did it, but I'm just assuming. So what they do, they just put a normal ETL for that and how much the data they require in a tabular format. They put it and they put in a share folder as well. If you know, like in share folder might be in OneDrive, okay, in
Yeah,
Microsoft.
that's correct. That's what they have done.
So that's how they do it, and then you connect with the Power BI, and then you do your remaining things, right? The analysis and reporting and ETL, whatever they
Yes,
required. So
yes,
that is also one pipeline, and the other thing is like you can directly call from your server, which is also you can do, like if you click on get data, and you can directly call it from your server without putting in a OneDrive. Now the what challenges you feel if you call it directly, because you have to do lot of ETL through the Power Query module. If you I'm not sure you did it or not. Power
yes.
Query is something different, module is something different, like where you do the ETL process for your what analysis, like this, like which dashboard I'm like right now looking. So for
Hmm.
example, as per this dashboard, your requirement tables, for example, I'm just giving one example. So there is one column which is not coming as a date format, but that is a date format column, correct?
Yeah.
Now if when you convert into date format, there are some will be values which is in error. Okay, there will be some values which is not coming as a date. For example, so you have to give a default date like 01110, like this. You have to give a default value, so it will all column will be coming into date format. Like I'm just giving an example. So now your whole column coming into the date format. So this is an ETL process which you do in the Power Query. Now some people just want to, I don't want to spend on some time on the Power Query because sometimes it become complex. So what they do, they already do the ETL process. They put the files in a table format in their box folder, or might, for example, we use box folder for
Hmm.
because we also do the transformation. So that's why I know. So we do in the
Yeah.
box folder. In your case, might be the share folder or with the OneDrive might be, and then
Yeah.
again you have to call the OneDrive folder to get those all the tables and the files, and do the analysis. That will be the
Yeah.
pipeline. I'm just guessing.
Also, is it the case like when we, because when I was doing initially, what I used to do is that we used to retrieve all the information from a server, the OLAP server,
Mm-hmm.
and then what we
Mm-hmm.
used to do is that when we used to do that, and then it becomes a very lengthy process, because it took the amount of data it was there in,
Sure,
it used to
sure,
take a
sure.
lot of time. And then what I used to do is that I used to create tables, and instead of getting it, we used to automate it once every day, that it used to get refreshed, so that it can update all the information that are there. That was something that I used to do. But I think after that, after I left, they have, because I'm, as I said, that I was not a tech guy, and I got some other opportunities, so I left. And then they actually recruit someone who was from the IT background, who actually, I think he has done a staging sort of thing, wherein he's actually, if you will look into the source, we can actually draw the source as well, where exactly all the files are setting. But my assumption is that he has actually staged it, and then he has run some, I can see some SQL queries he has run over here as well.
That is
If you'll
not,
see,
I think, SQL query. That is, I think, DAX they're putting. If okay, so they okay,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So that is
yeah,
SQL
yeah.
query. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So let me just read it. Yeah.
yes,
So that's not a SQL actually. They're putting a scripting. Okay. So they put in a script actually. Can you just go a little down for this? Just read all
yeah,
those things. So that is
yes.
actually DAX. If you see, this is not SQL. This is DAX actually.
Is it?
It's not a SQL. I cannot see the SQL part here. If you see the closely,
Is it a
API
DAX code?
select.
Because DAX is, I thought it is not. It is a SQL query which they have copy pasted here.
Because see, SQL is completely different. How we can put SQL? SQL is like you need to first connect with the SQL things. SQL things means any server like MySQL, PostgreSQL, then you can put. Let me show you how you can put SQL. Go to your get
Yeah,
data part. I'm telling you where
yeah.
you can see your SQL query. Okay, go to your
Sure,
get data part.
sure.
So now you see here is the option called direct query, and there is option called yeah, you can click anywhere like blank query and SQL server, anyone you can click it.
Yeah,
SQL Server, you can click it. I'm just showing
yeah,
you how you can get the SQL query. Okay, SQL query is different because this is not SQL. If you closely see, it's written where API is equals to. Okay, I'm working on
yeah,
SQL, so they're giving
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
variable name. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you see in this little pop-up window, if you see there is called import, direct query, and advanced option. If you click on advanced options, click it here. If you open the advanced
Yeah,
option, so now you see it's written SQL statement. So
yeah.
here you write it down your SQL statement based on your database. For
Okay.
example, I'm just giving, so you have an employee database, then you have a multiple tables. Now you
Hmm.
don't want 100 tables, you just want a specific table with the specific requirements. Okay, that is your
Right.
case, right?
Hmm.
So now you
Hmm.
just want to import that, like you have to write the query for it, right? For example, select employee, like for
Oh,
example, you have
okay.
10, okay, that is you
Yeah,
have
got
to
it.
write it here directly SQL query. Okay,
Okay.
you can do it here. You don't have to pull because that is called different SQL statement. Or and this is you can do directly your database like SQL Server agent, MySQL. You can do it multiple times. You can import multiple data, multiple things. Like for example, you have three tables you want, one tables you want, three tables. You can directly call it. Okay, right now I just uninstall my MySQL. If you want, I can show you that also. Okay, how you can do that SQL
Yeah, we
part.
would like to
But
we would like to have a look, like
Mhm,
but I'm
mhm,
just showing you, like what we know, and as I said that
mhm.
don't
Because
know a
this
lot.
union and all might be you get little confused with the union and select. These
Yeah.
all are DEX functional. Okay, so
Okay.
you already share screen, so I'm telling you how you get this output, where you getting it. So just go to your Google. Okay, Google is best thing. Okay, right? We IT guys
Yeah.
use lot of Google.
I do use a
Okay.
lot of YouTube and Google videos when I get, but as I said that my background is not IT. I'm a CP and a CA.
So
Yeah.
they do the same thing in Excel sheet. So they told me that we need to understand how Power A works because for them like a very easy. Because they told me that sir, the same thing which we do matrix chart, right? There is a called matrix chart, which is
Yeah, we do use.
this when I yeah when they do and they do the automate they said you waste sorry they you save over 2-3 hours because the same thing we do in Excel for more than 3 hours and 2 hours like this. That's how I found Power BI is very helpful for the financial people. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to your Google. I'm telling you how you get this output as well. This you see this product where and this all things you want to understand this DAX, right? So how you
Uh,
get to you understand from the I'm just telling you. So you can write DAX, search DAX, Power BI, space Power BI, and
it's
space no not cheat sheet. I'm telling space PDF. So you will find a official website through Microsoft. Okay, when you
yeah.
enter it all the functionality. Also, here it is. Download analysis. Yeah, click it here. So this is officially from Microsoft itself. You will find 900 because this have the 900 functionalities. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not this much. I'm not this one. Let me share you the link actually.